He sat so close to me that his entire side of his body was pushing up against me and starts leaning in.
I said no to him multiple times. He still came on to me, right?
The women of Silicon Valley have had it up to here with being groped, ogled, and propositioned by men who see them as conquests instead of colleagues.
How many of you here have experienced what you consider to be sexual harassment? How many chose not to report it or to complain? How many feared retaliation if they did complain?
Stunningly, in just the last month, after years of experiencing this anything goes culture, the women are fighting back. Powerful male executives forced out as multiple women come forward to complain about sexual harassment, including on camera together for the first time, our 6 entrepreneurs, some established, some just starting out.
Is it scary being here today?
Yes.
Every single woman I know in Silicon Valley had a story.
Kara Swisher is the journalist just about everyone in Silicon Valley speaks to. She's the executive editor of the news site Recode, funded in part by NBC. She says the tech industry, which prides itself on doing things that are new, progressive, better, has a side straight out of Mad Men.
I know they'd be happy to meet you.
Especially Dan Higgins. He loves redheads.
It's been an open secret for years. They call it bro culture.
What is bro culture?
It's exactly what it sounds like. It sounds like a fraternity. It sounds like, idiotic juvenile behavior, and that's all part of it. We're just boys having fun and being toxic at the same time.
Our group described bad behavior many women may find familiar.
Sexual innuendo, inappropriate jokes, leering.
Even asking for the meeting after 5 p.m. tech drinks.
A compliment about your body that's a little
Right.
off.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a tone.
Last year, a survey found 60% of women in tech had suffered unwanted sexual advances, most involving a male superior. They work in a culture where deals often get done over drinks, not desks, and where many turn a blind eye to sexual harassment.
Workplace setting is a lot of times coffee shops or bars or hotel lobbies. It's not necessarily always, in an office where HR is present and people are working.
When I had the first really bad situation, I was shaken up, I was upset, and I told a few people in the industry, and a lot of them said, well, what do you expect? You went out for a coffee meeting with a guy who had said that he might invest in your company, and of course these sorts of things are going to happen.
No one cared.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, yeah, that happens.
Suck it up.
Yeah.
Most women do exactly that, especially in the world of venture capital, where an entrepreneur may spend months or even years trying to secure a relationship with a potential investor, and where women who report harassment risk alienating these kings of cash. Rachel Rennick quit her advertising job last year to try her luck as an entrepreneur.
You don't know how you're going to pay rent, you're living off of ramen, so you kind of take whatever meeting you can get, and then you become very susceptible to that kind of harassment.
But you know that there are even strong women who say, you stop it on the spot. You say, you're being inappropriate.
You have to be in a tremendous position of power, I think, to do. I mean,
Which is what I did.
I would never do that.
In the moment,
Yeah.
that is so terrifying.
Speaking out against just one man can have widespread repercussions.
When I would bring it up with other men who had been in the industry longer, often they'd say, don't talk about that. You'll get a reputation as someone who's just whining, who can't cut it.
You're making a choice at this point where you now are jeopardizing yourself, where he can then go say whatever he wants about you. Her business sucks, she has a bad idea.
You have to find a clever way out of the situation without alienating this guy.
You can walk away, and you can do it in a major dramatic fashion, but you are definitely putting your business at risk.
Many women choose to get out of tech. They leave the industry at twice the rate men do. Those who stay find ways of coping.
How have you chosen to dress in Silicon Valley?
As gay as possible.
What does that mean?
I'm an out and open lesbian. When I started out, I felt I needed to be more feminine. And I know you had the opposite experience, where she was trying to tone it down.
How did you tone it down?
I chopped off my hair, and so I had really short hair. And I would wear Converse to meetings, and I was.
Why? What were you trying to project?
I think I was trying to be actually more androgynous. Of course, like, I wasn't duping anybody, right? People knew that I was a woman. Surprise! Yeah, like, okay, guys.
Ask a woman who's been harassed what she felt like in the moment, and you might hear words like panic, shock, and even shame. For many of these women, it's also the death of a dream.
To walk into a pitch or a room just to get hit on is devastating to a certain extent, and to experience that over and over and over again can really take a toll, an emotional toll.
That's just the way it was, until February, when an engineer named Susan Fowler penned an incendiary blog post, methodically recounting the harassment she dealt with at Uber, including her manager proposing sex on her very first day in his group.
How big an impact did Susan Fowler have?
Big.
Huge.
Huge. She was non-emotional. I know it sounds crazy, but she just laid this story out. She talked not just about the sexual harassment, but the culture at large. And therefore, it wasn't just, hey, someone touched my butt. Like, oh no, I'm such a delicate flower, I can't handle that.
And then when she complained, the response was, well, if you stay in his group, you're going to get a negative review, and you deserve it because you stayed.
Right.
Uber immediately condemned that behavior. Months later, amidst this and other controversies, the CEO resigned. And then, suddenly, in just the past 3 weeks, other women began coming forward, naming the misdeeds, and in some cases, naming the men. Lindsay Meyer and Cheryl Yo each say they were targeted by well-connected, married men alleging groping or unwanted kissing.
So I met Justin because I was raising money for my company.
Lindsay had been working for more than a year to start a fitness business when she met venture capitalist Justin Caldback in 2015, first at his office, then at a bar.
He wants to sit at a table, and so we start with a normal distance in between us, and over the course of the first 15 or 20 minutes, that distance continues to close until all of a sudden his hand is in my inner thigh, and he's holding my hand, and he's touching me.
What are you thinking in that moment?
Got to get out of here.
Do you remove the hand?
Absolutely.
She didn't want an intimate relationship with Caldbeck, but she did want his help. They stayed in touch for 2 more years. Sometimes he reached out to her, sometimes she reached out to him.
It's thousands of messages, hundreds of emails, lots and lots and lots of phone calls, voice messages.
Now, if I were to see your responses to those texts and emails, would you be proud of them?
It's a good question. I felt like because he was an investor, I sometimes needed to go along with his overtures and his advances. And so I probably wouldn't be the most proud about all of them.
Justin Caldbeck declined to comment to us, but last month, facing accusations from several women, he resigned from his firm and issued a general apology, never confirming Lindsay's specific account. He says he's seeking therapy. Unlike Lindsay, Cheryl Yo was established at the time she says she was harassed. Living in Malaysia in 2014, she was running a company that worked with Silicon Valley investors. After a business meeting, Cheryl had friends over one night for drinks. When everyone else left her apartment, this man stayed, a well-known tech investor. His name? Dave McClure.
He backed me into a corner. He leaned forward and kissed me, like somewhere in my cheek. And I was quite shocked. I didn't know what to do. I pushed him away, and I kept saying no, and he kept coming at me again, and he said something like, just this one time, can we just do it one time? So my heart was beating, and I yanked the door open, and I did shove him out.
What's going through your head?
I felt fooled. At the same time, I couldn't be upset with him because I had to preserve our relationship, as we were supposed to sign a contract that week.
To people who might look at this story and say, she let him into her apartment, saw him get drunk, saw him trying to get her drunk, and set herself up for a confrontation. How do you respond?
Well, it still doesn't make it right. I mean, I did all the right things, I feel.
When you hear me ask that question, I'm devil's advocate, how does it make you feel?
It's infuriating because As a culture, we blame women for men's misbehavior. He went to that apartment, he got drunk, he made those advances. He should take responsibility for himself.
Dave McClure resigned amid multiple allegations of harassment. He did not respond to our request for a comment, but he has apologized and admitted he behaved like, quote, a creep. He too is seeking therapy.
And until finally I couldn't just sit with it anymore.
Women coming forward can inspire others to do the same. We saw it happen right here. After we thought our interview was over, one woman decided to share an encounter she has never discussed publicly until now. Her story next.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.